Hey guys, this is Mike here, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to switch up with my videos. Usually I do wrestling videos, but today is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to talk about the finale from Survivor, which happened last night, Survivor Caramoan. Um, and I'm going to talk about kind of what I felt about the season in general, and then also what direction Survivor's going, which isn't a very good one. Kind of just like the general thought process I have in terms of why they should probably shut it down. I mean, it's not going anywhere positive, but we'll get to that. So to start off with, just to summarize, Survivor Caramoan, 10 returning players, and then 10 fans was the kind of the theme for this season. And honestly, this is, in my opinion, I've seen every season of Survivor. Now, I mean, the first couple, I mean, I wasn't that old, so I kind of had to go back and watch them again. But I've seen every season, and honestly, this is the shittiest season of Survivor I've ever watched, hands down, no question. Brutal, terrible, 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 so bad. First of all, the returning players this season, over half of them, I don't really remember. I mean, honestly, like the last couple seasons before they did this, like this season of Survivor, weren't that great either. Like, I don't know, Survivor Philippines I liked. I did enjoy Survivor Philippines. One World I didn't really like very much. And so yeah, like so specific, like there were most of the seasons leading up to this one weren't that good. So the players that they got for the favorites weren't really entertaining, nor were they really interesting to watch to begin with. So yeah, the whole season was shit for me. Honestly, like Francesca coming back was the stupidest thing ever. She got voted out first when she played the first time. Why would you bring somebody back that was voted out first? So that was really stupid, and I didn't really like that at all. Brandon Hance, yeah, I know he's related to Russell, and yeah, maybe he was entertaining to watch, but honestly, he pissed me off. Like I really didn't like watching him. It was all for the appeal of like this is what's bugging me about Survivor 2 is it's when it first started out, it was everybody against each other. You don't know anybody. Oh, we don't play it last is the theme, and that's why they had so much success. And now it's turned into a celebrity thing, where the people they bring back are people that everybody knows, and they're like, oh, I'm so hyped up. But it's not about the actual gameplay now. It's about who's being involved, and it's the entertainment factor rather than the actual gameplay and the challenges that and being able to went on playing last and be able to survive and make the right gameplay moves, which it has kind of lacked that recently. It's not really turning into what it should be anymore. Russell Hance, I'm sorry, Brandon, I apologize. Brandon Hance, don't like him at all. I hate watching him. He really should get himself checked out. He's got a lot of brain issues going on there, and really pissed me off to look at and watch. Yeah, Philip, I'm sorry, he pissed me off. I can't stand him. He's annoying as shit. Malcolm, I liked. Malcolm was one of my favorites. Andrea, I liked. She played differently this time around, which I liked. She had a bit of a different gameplay to her strategy and was a little bit more fierce, which I enjoyed watching. Brenda, I liked. That was good. Eric, I really wanted Eric to win after how stupid he goofed it. And in the first, it was funny because he was involved in the first fans versus favorites that they had, and he made probably the dumbest move in Survivor history. He gave away immunity in the final five and got voted out. And I was hoping he'd turn that around. He got injured this year, and it was tough. It sucked. But it was fun to watch him. Dawn, I don't have anything to say about Dawn. I have no respect for her. The things she did, I have no respect for her as a game player. She screwed Brenda over. She cried nonstop. She was riding Cochrana's dick at the end. And then Cochrane just schooled everybody. This was such a boring season. Nobody was interesting to watch. The fans got shit kicked. The only ones that really knew what they were doing were, well, even not Sherry. She played strong at the beginning, but screwed up at the end. Reynolds was the only fan that really actually knew what he was doing, but he was too aggressive. So really, the favorites shit kicked the fans, and they weren't even interesting to watch. Such a bad season, and they need to stop doing this. I mean, Cochrane won 8-0 unanimous, no questions. Just the worst season of Survivor. Not interesting to watch. nothing really intrigued me about it. The characters weren't original. Malcolm was really the only one that sparked any sort of interest and actually made some serious moves. Towards the end, things got so boring. The last, I think, 8 that were remaining, it just was ridiculously boring to watch. It was just so bad. And that brings me to my note about where Survivor's going. They need to they need to look at changing the direction of things, because when they first started filming Survivor, it was about these 18 or 20 contestants that don't know each other. They have no idea, never met, and it's a matter of forming trust and playing to the end, developing, bonds, or, false bonds, whatever you want to call it, and, just playing hard, and just doing what you have to do. That's what it was based off of. And there was no celebrity, well, there was occasional ones, but there's really no like big names, and there's like no star appeal there. You watched it because it was entertaining and you never knew what was going to happen. That's not the case anymore. Ever since they went to the plot of returning Survivor players, it's lacked the same sort of appeal to me. Honestly, it kind of went down the shitter for me when they did. It's hard to say, actually. When they brought back, when they did Survivor Heroes versus, I mean, actually, Heroes versus Villains was okay. I think the first time that it kind of sucked for me was Redemption Island, when Boston Rob came back for, I think, the 4th time. Yeah, I know he won, and that's right. It sucked because he just trolled over everybody. It wasn't interesting because he dominated the whole game. And ever since that season, it's been so bad because they've brought back 2 people in practically every single season, 2 returning guys in every season, and they've just trolled over everybody. And it's not fun to watch because you know what's going to happen. And it's not these. Think about it. There's people that have probably been trying to get onto Survivor since it started, and trying to be involved, and they've been trying to get cast, and they've worked really hard to get onto the show that's been their dream. And they're getting screwed because they're bringing all these returning players back. They've already got 2. Some of them have had 2 chances. Some of them have 3 chances in the case of Boston Rob, to already play the game. Some of them have only had 1, but you already have a second chance that other people don't even get their first shot at it. So I really don't respect the fact that they keep giving everybody these second and third chances to come back and play the game again, where there's perfectly eager people that have never played before that would, and honestly, it's at the point where it'd be far more interesting to have no returning players, where you don't know what the game plan is going to be of anybody, and have them, just fight it out. This is so predictable with all these returning players. There have been interesting seasons. Fans vs. Favorites, the first one was awesome. I love that. The first Survivor All-Stars was great. The first one that they did, before all this other stuff, it was absolutely awesome. That was one of my favorite seasons, actually. That one was pretty early on. That was the 8th season that they did. That was one of my favorites. My favorite season of any of them was Survivor Fiji, to be honest. I just loved some of the characters. Dreams made me laugh. Yowman was awesome, one of my favorites ever. But yeah, and then they've just kind of gone away from that. They've gone away from what's worked, and I assume the ratings have dropped. It's one of those things where it's so predictable and it's not interesting. And now they're going into this next season. I think it's the 27th season, where they're going to be doing, I think it's called Survivor Blood versus Water. And honestly, I don't know what the producers are thinking anymore. This is so stupid. The plot, I think, is to have like 18 returning players fighting either with, or like playing, with their relatives, and that's so dumb. Now you're not gonna bring anybody new in again. Like, yeah, their relatives are kind of new, but they're already related to the players that have played the game before. It's so stupid. It's like there's nothing that really intrigues me about that, because it's just returning people coming back again, people you already know about that already had a shot in the game and didn't get it done. It's cool to have that every once or twice, or once every 6-7 seasons, but when you do it repeatedly and repeatedly and repeatedly over and over again, it just kills the intrigue, and it's not interesting to watch anymore because you already know what's going to happen. So this season, Survivor Blood vs. Water, was going to be probably the 9 or 10 returning survivors and their relatives, just doesn't intrigue me, because it's all these people that have already had a shot, and then these relatives are probably just like them. So I don't know. I'm not really interested in it, but I guess we'll see what happens. Those are my thoughts on what's going on down with Survivor. Let me know what you think. I'll leave some comments for me, and I'll talk to you guys soon.